आपने जो पेन रखा है, I am completely bold.
सिर्फ आपके लिए पहना है।
वैसे ये नाम आपका क्या?
मूमल।
मूमल मतलब?
मूमल एक जैसलमेर की राजकुमारी थी। उसकी प्रिटी आईज, ब्यूटीफुल लिप्स एंड लंबे बाल। तो शायद मम्मी पापा को लगा कि ये सब फीचर्स मुझ में हैं।
आप बहुत खूबसूरत हैं मैम।
थैंक यू। ओह गॉड।
आप किसके साथ आई हैं?
सर अपने हस्बैंड के साथ जलने की बदबू आ रही है।
Wheel of Fortune, दुनिया का #1 गेम शो सोमवार से शुक्रवार रात 9 बजे सोनी एंटरटेनमेंट टेलीविजन और सोनी लिव पर।
Okay, now I want to bring up a topic that's quite prevalent in the news right now. A few players are really not happy around privacy. I mean, we saw the tunnel incident with Coco Golf. We saw the zoo animal comment from Swiontech. What do we think? I mean, what is the boundary where you don't want to cross the privacy level, but you also want to engage an audience and a fan? I mean, I'm on the fence, but I want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, I'm just going to give some context here. Australian Open started this back in 2019 when they put up additional cameras, and they're all drop cameras, like they're not hidden cameras, so you can see them everywhere. And they put up signs saying, okay, this is a surveillance area. So I understand where Coco is coming from, where Iga is coming from, where Novak is coming from, and privacy is absolutely a priority for them. That being said, Coco was in a public area that's filmed very openly, right? We see that warm-up area, it's a walkway that goes out in the player area. And there are some that have absolutely no cameras, like the second floor and the third floor at AO in the player zones. You don't see any cameras there. So yes, can we add lesser areas with cameras? Sure. But at the end of the day, they are public figures and they are going to get, filmed everywhere they go. Even if Novak goes to a restaurant, he gets filmed. All of that happens everywhere, right?
So I don't think that, there's a couple of things. First of all, yes, she was in a public area and she knows that the cameras are there, but she's also very high on emotion. So I don't think that even if the camera is there, I feel like there needs to be consent when emotion like that is happening. So I'm okay with cameras happening. I mean, it's the same culture of paparazzi. Everywhere you go, you're right. You go to restaurants, you're photographed, you don't always want to be photographed. But just because you're a public figure does not mean that you have to accept everything that comes your way, because we still are normal human beings and we still have to have some amount of privacy. I understand that, people can argue saying if you're going to a public restaurant, then you are publicly, visible, and then you have to give that right away of your privacy. I don't necessarily think in every single situation we need to do that. So it's the same thing here. This is not a regular moment of her warming up. A consent is not needed for that. But if there is a moment where she is obviously vulnerable, which she was in this moment, and she was letting some steam out, I feel like there is a responsibility. Everything cannot be entertainment and television. These are real emotions. These are real blood, tears that are going into real frustration, real happiness, and everything. So I feel like there should be some kind of consent that should be taken, because everything in the name of content cannot be sold, because we are not sellable. Our entire soul is not sellable as
object.
Yes, we're not just here. Our emotions are not for sale. Yes, when we are playing and the emotions we show on the court are for sale, because we are putting ourselves and we're choosing. This is not a choice she made. So I'm saying it's fine if you have cameras, it's fine if you've put them up. I know, because I've been in this position, so I can speak from there, that a consent saying, is it okay if we put this out? And she can say yes or no to that. I think that's the basic respect you can give to an emotion. And that's a basic respect you can give to a human being. You can't just say, oh, cameras are there, you should not have done it over there, you should have gone to the locker room and done it. You can't say that. I mean, that's not correct, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I guess where you draw the line, and I was interested in listening to both of their views on this, because I feel like they've come from very strong places. I know that she's had her privacy, taken advantage of, exactly. And I
do every day, and that's why this hits pretty hard for me, because I do feel that as human, we are not taken anymore. And I talk so much about a personal touch, and I talk so much about the fact that we're not robots, and that we're not, like you said, we're not objects. Everything about us is not for sale.
No.
So there has to be some sort of consent, is all I'm trying to say. I'm saying ask her, is it okay?
So I guess where you draw the line is empathy. You know, ultimately, the person who's making the decision of, hey, I've got some content, am I excited? Or do I be respectful? Keeping in mind, Coco's 21. She's going to come back here for 10, 15 more years. I mean, why would we want to put her through a compromising position? Maybe it's one broken racket. Maybe it could be something much worse. You know, and I know, Grace, you've probably had, you know, your privacy, you know, compromised in some way or the other as well.
lot, yeah,
And I don't think that's cool. And that basically comes down to people wanting to go out and sell everything versus people being empathetic, understanding, and saying, you know, this is where we have to draw the line for decency, you know, and
Totally.
it's sport ultimately.
But I don't think that people see it like that. I think that you're. What I am
Am I
saying
trying to
is
be utopian?
No, I'm trying to say don't empathize, ask.
Yeah.
I'm not saying empathize even. I understand your priority is to make television or content. I get that. But I am saying ask. Because there are certain moments that where you're crying or you're whatever,
Feeling
even
Whatever.
happy.
something,
I mean,
yeah.
for example, you know, just because we're talking about privacy being, you know, taken advantage of, I have a child, and for a long time, I didn't want my child to be photographed, right? So what am I going to do? Not take my child out of my house because you're like, oh yeah, but you've brought your child out, so you need to. You know, he needs to be or she needs to be photographed. That's not fair. No. The child does not need to be subjected to that. So now I feel the paparazzi over the last 8-10 years has become better with it. And then if you request them, they're like, okay, they won't photograph the child.
That's just because everyone in India is scared of you.
No, not with me. Now I reached a point where I was like, you know what? Now I cannot hide it anymore. So after about 8-10 months, I was like, you know what? Like, what am I? How am I? It's so difficult because
and it's
going,
impacting
I'm
your
covering the
piece as
face
well,
and like all of this, right? So, but I'm saying the cameras have become better with that.
Yeah. I mean, and we even saw that, you know, some of the players noticed that their phones were even being zoomed in on. I mean,
That's
the
wrong.
high
Really
definition
That's just
of these
downright wrong.
cameras, and it's
That's
it's
Yeah.
horrible.
And Iga's not entirely out of line. You know, it's unfortunate that, you know, the Coco moment and Sabalenka's moment at US Open, this happened to her in 2023, where she was in the gym and she smashed a racket and it went viral. And that's unfortunate from a what they're doing standpoint, because it becomes something to be talked about. But it's unfortunate that everything gets talked about, right? Like Iga, for example, forgot her credential and she's waiting to get into her player area, and that gets filmed. And it's so silly because it's such a small thing. Same with Roger. He was trying to get into the locker room and he couldn't get in because he didn't have
same
his
with Serena
credential.
one time.
Yeah, and that becomes a public thing. Is that
I mean,
really
that's
content?
okay. In my opinion, that's not a vulnerability moment. I'm just talking about specifically vulnerable moments. Now, that could be happiness, that could be sadness, that could be frustration, that could be a moment of hugging your child, that could be a, you know, kissing your partner. I mean,
Whatever.
it could be
Yeah.
anything. I'm saying a
Anything.
personal moment. You not having your credential is not really a personal moment. It's not.
Or just
it's not
walking
that
through
But I
or
mean,
big a
getting ready
deal.
for a
even she
match
said
or
about
whatever.
how, you know, her moment was made a meme. And I mean, at the end of the day, is it really that funny?
Yeah.
I mean,
For some
where
people-
is the line? Like, it's ridiculous.
Some people have a warped sense of humor.
But my
I mean,
point is,
look at all of these. I mean, this, I mean, that is fine.
yeah.
Yeah, every
No, I'm
process is a
okay with the
process,
cameras
yes.
being in the gym. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with all of that. I'm okay with them being in this, you know, area. Am I okay if in this very moment he's getting a massage and like he's getting a massage on his leg and yes, you're in the gym and you're videoed? Should you take consent for that? I definitely.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is don't empathize, don't feel, don't care. You make your content, you do your job, we'll do ours, but ask. Because it's still very important to take consent. I mean, consent is the most important thing in the world, right? Like everything, no is a no, yes is a yes. So ask.
And people feel like they have access to you, or they deserve to have access to you because, oh, you've put yourself out there, or you've got, you know, this amazing accolade. But at the end of the day, you don't have that right. It's not yours to have. I mean, you can idolize someone, but it's not fair to just take control over that.
I agree, and I guess the simplest way to say this is where we draw the line is respect.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
And I think is
Respect.
if we all, you know, be more like Rafa and just respect everything, everywhere, all the time, I mean, that would be a nice place.
The world
but
would be a better place.
world would be a better place. Be like Rafa.